Ready?
Come on, man.
Ready.
Get into the mix.
This is KRS One. You can't believe me. I'm chilling on.
Next level.
You were supposed to say that,
Hey,
Bob.
my people.
Next Level TV, it's me, KRSONE, down with the BDP, or the Temple of Hip Hop, or Stop the Violence. I'm gonna be in silence, but I will be defiant to the government. You know we're not loving it. KRS-One negativity, I'm above it.
That's what it means to keep right. Too many times, spiritual people, conscious people, people that actually walk with God are cowards. I'll say it again. The most conscious individuals in our society today are cowards. This is the reason why we don't have a Stop the Violence movement 2004. Because when we did it in '89, we were not cowards. If the record company said, we're not doing this record, we said, well, you're not getting another album. When we made those stances, the record artists like myself, Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, X-Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Queen Latifah, I mean, the list goes on. Put artists like us on the side and pick up anyone that want to make some money and turn them into a star. And what does that mean? Just jump on the TV. Just, if I could just put you on television, you're a star. Forget talent. Even more importantly, forget the hip hop movement. When we did the Stop the Violence movement, it was a movement. Africa Bambaataa laid it down. 1974, peace, love, unity, having fun. Peace, love, unity, having fun. Those were the pillars of hip hop. 1979, the Sugar Hill Gang comes out. All that stopped. The Sugar Hill Gang gets big respect, but the Sugar Hill Gang and the Sugar Hill Records label, the catalog, that line is the same line as Nelly, as all the commercial style rappers, which is a major part of hip hop, by the way. Hip hop, the culture, not necessarily rap music, but hip hop, the culture, needs a Sugar Hill Gang. The reason we could say we are a billion-dollar culture is not because of me. It's because of Puffy. It's because of Russell Simmons. It's because of Jay-Z, 50 Cent. That's why we can say we are a billion-dollar culture, and now let's lay out our political plan. Ain't nobody trying to feel us if we just gonna talk conscious. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Now, if you conscious with money, oh! Now the situation changed drastically. But look at the situation. Most conscious cats are cowards. This is where KRS gets his contradictory nature from. They say, man, you're the head of the Stop the Violence movement. You put out Stop the Violence, and how is PM Dawn getting thrown off the stage? What happened? And even though, you know, my first album, Criminal Minded, you know, I produced Just Ice, Schoolie D, Steady B. I mean, we did our little thing back in the days. Everybody was thugging in the 80s. But if I step up and say, you know, I'm gonna punch this guy in his face, the community will go, nah, Chris, nah. We know you did Criminal Minded, we know your past, we know what you're about, but you know what? We look at you as this. Now, I had to learn that the hard way. Because for me, I'm living my life. Cat step to me, your face will be on the floor. It's as simple as it's a cause and effect. You know, one reaction, now my cheek is on the ground. It's, you know, but I have to now go back and say, you know what? I'm not no coward. Period. But you know what? I can't be as aggressive as I want to be because everybody's not ready for it yet. I'm ready to go to MTV with guns. No, I'm being real. I'm trying to keep it as real with you as possible. But everybody ain't ready for that. And in a leadership position, I'm not even going to advocate that. We're not up to it yet. We're not ready for it yet. But our children, they may be right at VH1, ready for action. And let me tell you why I take you here, because KRS One represents a movement, not an industry. That's what this album is about. It's about the hip-hop movement, not the rap music industry. Hip-hop, the movement. What is hip-hop, the movement? Let's start. Peace, love, unity, and having fun. Anything that goes against that is against the movement. It's really that simple. It's no high philosophical, you ain't hip-hop unless you down with this. You ain't about all that. You either want peace, love, unity, and having fun, or you want confusion, hate, greed, and boredom. Take your pick. But now here's the point. Who's really willing to fight for that? This is the point right here. Everybody screams revolution, but who buys the guns? Everyone says revolution, but who plans and says the revolution is going to start at 7:30 on Monday? Who's that person? This is the point for all of you to think about. Your support of this album doesn't support a corporation. This is what you got, and I'm not dissing none of these records in this store. None of them. Most of them are mine. Or influenced by one way or the other. But let's keep it real here. When I was on Jive, I was a slave. Let's keep it real right here. When I was on Jive for 13 years, I put out 8 albums with Jive Records. 13 years, I made 50 cents a record. 75 cents a record. By the time about 95, I actually made my first dollar on every record. And it hasn't went up past that. The record sells to this store for $10.25. I get $1. Where the other $9 at? Where the other $9 at? Well, see, this is the point right here. This is the point. The movement versus the industry. Here's what I'd like to do. First of all, let's start thinking of ourselves as leaders, not just consumers of product. Leaders of movements, each and every one of you. When you go back to where you are, be a leader of this movement, hip-hop. This is a real nation you are part of. It's just that we are young, so people don't see it. But we're no different from George Washington or James Madison, Thomas Jefferson. They were Englishmen. They were Brits. They were British. They rejected that and came to America, the vision of the United States. They were British, but had a vision for the United States. George Washington is not an American. America didn't exist when George Washington was alive. He had a vision for it. Christianity didn't exist when Jesus walked the earth. That's right. It was a vision. Even though Jesus was a Jew, the vision. Even though James Madison was British, the vision. Even though I may look African American, I am hip hop. Even though you may be Latino, white, Asian, you may be hip hop. And maybe because you have to make that decision for yourself. I've made my decision, and let me tell you how controversial the decision is. I'm giving up my blackness. I'm giving it up. It's a slow process, but I'm giving up this thing of being black. It's over. Being African, that's over. I am hip hop. The point of the matter is, I have transcended race, class, occupation, gender, all that. Now, see me for my skill and my character. What is the essence of this piece of flesh? Not what is the flesh. We can't build no movement on that. We can't trust black people. You know that, Ma. Can't trust no black people. Just because you Latino, you supposed to be my brother. Y'all know. That ain't what's happening. What's happening is my brothers and sisters are those who share my interests. Those who are down with what I'm down with. Those who gonna eat when I eat, sleep when I sleep, shower when I shower. Yeah, come on in here. Get in here. Make sure nobody's outside. And this is the decision I had to come to. And I'm putting this decision down on all of you guys as well. This ain't for everybody. And just because you can't make this decision doesn't mean you ain't real hip hop. I'm just taking you to the nth degree. I'm taking you to the ultimate meaning of our movement. We're gonna have to build a new ethnicity. This is it right here. Can you die to your Native Americanness? Can you die to your Latino-ness? Africanness, Asianness? Can you die to that? Can you go to your parents and say, Mom, I've made a decision. Dad, I've made a decision. My children's ethnicity is gonna be hip hop. I am the last of our generation. From this moment on, my ethnicity, what I am going to call my race, is hip hop. And my brothers in that are not, I can't, my vision can't see black, white, and I can't see it. What I see is like-minded interests. You hip hop? Yeah, I'm hip hop. We brothers. You let this go another 100 years, we'll be blood brothers. Let it go 200 years. All of us may look like one of us will look like all of us. Like in just another 200, maybe another 150 years. Two generations from now, the hip hopper can be a black man that speaks Spanish but wears Asian clothes. Man, put this in your head. The new human being is hip hop. What America tried to do, they failed. We did it. America's vision is out of many, one. E pluribus unum. It's on the dollar. This is the goal of the country. This is why everyone's here. Everyone come in from other countries because what we're trying to do is create one human being. We want interracial marriage. We want people from, send us you're hungry, you're tired, because we're going to throw them into a pot. And we're going to boil them up with everybody else that's in the pot. And we're going to call this thing America. And you're going to be called an American. Even though you was Latino, even though your entire history is a Latino history, when you get here, they call you an American. Even though you have an entire African history, you get here, you're American. These are decisions that we make. This ain't the truth. This ain't the truth of who we are. This is a decision. I'm deciding to be African American. That's my choice. But am I really African American? Really? Or do I just look like that title? But what am I really? What does my DNA say I am? What does our DNA say we are? Black men like us. We are not completely African. Now maybe our parents, maybe our grandmother, great-grandpa, they could claim some sort of African, some sort of African authenticity. You know, genealogically. Oh yeah, cool. Genealogically, our grandparents may be able to claim pure-blooded African. maybe great-grandparent, great, you know, like that. They maybe say African. But if you was born in America over the last 40 years, you can forget it. You have white in you, Native American, Asian, black, and different variations. Irish, Italian, Haitian, Jamaican, Korean, Chinese. We all share the same genes if you are living in this kind of an experience. The rest of the world can't say that. The rest of the world may still have pure genes. But if you live in America, your gene pool is not what you are calling your nationality. Your gene pool is a whole bunch of people. And you are deciding to be Latino. You are deciding to be African, deciding to be Asian, deciding to be that. But who are you really? You got all kind of stuff in you. So if we can decide who we are going to be, even though what we decide may not be the absolute truth of who we are, it's a decision. Then why not decide to be hip-hop? Why not decide to look like, for me, I'll give you an example of me, African-American history teaches me that I was a great king, queens of Africa, we had civilization, and then all of a sudden this mighty white man destroyed us, and now we're slaves. And then we struggled and became free in 1865. That's bullshit. That's not real history. That ain't even really what happened. But you try telling African Americans that. Try telling African Americans slavery never existed. Oh, what are you talking about? Slavery never existed. You have a choice. Either slavery never existed or we are all slaves today. Because nothing changed. So it's one or the other. Now, I look at my African-American history and I say, honestly, what am I getting out of being black? That's the question. All of y'all. What you getting out of being Latino, being Asian? What you getting out of it? Now, if you getting something out of it, my argument is dead. You getting something out of being Latino, Native American, Asian, African, if you getting something out of that, like because you are black, you are getting something extra than somebody else. If that's what it is, then my argument's dead. But I'm not getting anything being black. Me, Chris. I'm getting beat over the head being black. I can't get a job being black. My education is a little slight being black. For some reason, black leadership don't understand my point of view.
We get profiled.
We get racially profiled as being black, and on a positive and a negative. Negative is the police. Positive is the sporting recruiters. NBA, they profile us too. But we want that profile.
Exactly.
See, this is the African American situation. Just a surface conversation. Oh, racial profiling. Oh, we got to stop these guys. But then when the talent agent comes around with $1 million check, you want to be black. You damn, I'm big and black. I can jump that ball. I can. Oh, now all of a sudden it's reverse racism, as they say. The white guy who could play better than you ain't even gonna get a shot. White guy who can play better than you will not get a shot because of racial profiling. That's a white argument in hip hop. Because only hip-hop would allow that argument.
Yeah.
The white community won't even allow the white argument. They won't even allow that argument to take place. But in hip-hop, when we transcend race, we can step outside and have some real delicate conversations about race. But as long as you're it, you can't really discuss it. You can't come up with a solution. Step out of it. Now let me drop this last point on this conversation here. You know you only asked one question.
I know.
The decision is this, and this is, of course, I'm talking extreme to you. You're talking to a philosopher, 30 years. My job is to tell you the hard truth. You may not agree with me. You may say, I'm absolutely out of my mind. That is my job for you to think. As a matter of fact, I've done my job. If you say, he's crazy. That's my job as a philosopher. That's it. I'm here to tell you the hard facts. Here's the hard facts. We may have to give up our traditional ethnic. They cannot fail. Even if they fail, they have not failed because we exist. If before, like today, if a kid writes on the wall of a school, he's out the building, suspended and possibly locked up, and the parents are charged. In the hip-hop school, you write on the wall, you'll be graded for it. In fact, we'll tell you, look, we can't have writing on the wall. We have free walls. You can do your art. But if you're caught writing on school property, the teacher does not scold you. The teacher grades your work right then and there. And you had better be dope. Sure, you're writing on the wall, but what did you write? How did you write it? What were you thinking when you wrote it? Our children are not being asked that.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So let me summarize this and try to get another question. Let me summarize it, because this is the passion of the movement, and I want you guys to know what it is you're buying into. I'm not here to sell an album so I could have more money. I'm going to NASA on the 19th of May 19th. I'll be speaking at NASA Space Station. I'm going to be talking to some physicists, mathematicians and physicists. Check this out. NASA has their space program. They say, this is according to NASA, right? The best minds for math and science, guess where they come from? The inner city. The people who put the Challenger in the sky was you and me. It was you. It was you. When I went to NASA, I didn't see old white men with ties, bald heads, and round glasses. I saw you. This is the real of our culture. When I went to NASA to set this up, I didn't see some old white man that don't know nothing about me trying to diss me. That wasn't the case. The white people that were there were hip-hop. The black people that were there were hip-hop. In fact, one of the lead NASA physicists is a DJ. His name is DJ Scientific. But it's a real cat. He lives in Washington. He works every day at NASA, but he's a DJ. This is what NASA is. The TV is telling us somebody else is doing the space program. It's not you. The truth is, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. We gotta wrap this up so we can make sure everybody gets their autograph.
Thank you, Christine. And those who have pictures as well, we'll pose for the pictures. We'll do the pictures first. Let me make sure. Yeah, whatever. Take this little piece with you. Take this piece with you. Take that vision with you. NASA's employees, the ones who actually do the work, they're us. Here, they look just like this crowd right here. And if you can make it to Washington on May 19th, please come so you can see what I'm saying. It looks just like this. When you get to NASA, it's going to look just like this. But imagine, we're talking about going to Mars. We're talking about going to the moon. Who's going to the moon? Who's going to Mars? We are. And we need to wrap our minds around this. Ain't nobody else doing nothing in the United States but hip-hop. We in the Justice Department. We in the American Medical Association. We are the Board of Education. We are the spiritual leadership of this country. What are we doing? It ain't got nothing to do with what America doing, what George Bush doing. I respect George Bush. Straight up. He's living his truth. The question is, are we living ours? That's why he's in office, because we didn't live our truth. Malik, I'm cutting off. 1 minute left. Let me steal the last 60 seconds. I want to thank you all for purchasing this project. This is the first part of the project. It's this album. This album is being released 3 months in advance. This is the advanced copies going out for you. I'm quite sure these guys are selling them at a way low price than what it normally would be in the stores. The ones that are in, this is the first part of it, this is the first album, this is the collector's item. This is not going to be around much. The album drops June 29th. And it's a thicker album project. In fact, the CD is a CD-ROM of me and Chuck D having a conversation about hip-hop. It's a rare conversation. And it's Chuck at his best. And there's another CD with this. You get a 2 CD with this on June 29th. The CD, like this CD here, is the album. But when the album comes out, this same CD will be a CD-ROM with Chuck D on it and me talking about the future of hip-hop. In addition to that package, there's a DVD with the CD. The DVD that's with the CD is a celebration of the conscious hip-hop movement. Excellent DVD, you should really see this. That's the project June 29th, and that's what will be in the stores. I wanted to come and support these stores first, before we go to Tower Records, before we go to Warehouse Records, before we go to The Wiz, before we go to, Coconuts and these places. Let's come here to Stax Vinyl, even though we're pushing CDs, I'm sorry. Let's come to Stax Vinyl and make sure Icey Ice and his staff feels the economics of this album. We need to support this store. That's why I'm here. This album came out 4 hours ago. I just got the shipment 4 hours ago. I went to the other store, Stax, who just came from there, which was excellent. We came here, another Stax store. We're going to leave copies here. This album will not appear. I mean, if any other stores have it, it's because you say, well, Chris was here, right? Right. That's the only way you're going to get it. There's no distribution on this. You have to come to these situations, and this is leadership. Let me take the leadership. One line, I'm dissing you. I just thought of this last point. I'm going to stand up and say it so we can end. And I'm going to come around here now, right? I would hope one day that I can, for instance, I would hope that you would be able to go to the internet and download my album for free from every artist, not just me, any artist. This is what the vision is. Right now we have 4 million people out of work. Hip hop is a part of that 4 million people out of work. We can offer an economic stimulus package to hip hop by sharing this album with all of you. Imagine if Busta Rhymes fans can sell Busta Rhymes' album. If you just sold 10 of them, you made $100 for the day. If you sell 20, make $200. If you really want to get thug with it, go ahead and work it at 100 pieces you move in a day. You making a G a day. We don't need this system. We don't need them. What we need is unity. That's what we need, and that's why we're here. Because this album here, I would love to, in June 29th, announce a program that says, download the album. I mean, let me also say this. KRS One, with most of my stuff, is not legal, but I'll say it here because we're amongst family. But any of KRS One stuff you can sell. You will not get a lawsuit out of me at all. Take that for what it's worth. Sell anything you get of KRS One's, duplicate it, and sell it. The point is, and I'm telling you, this is the future for us right here. If I can make you $100 a day, this is leadership. All of it. Forget the rhetoric, forget the philosophy, forget all the spirituality, forget all that. Let me put a chicken on your table. Let's make sure that your children, the daycare is paid for. That our families are being taken care of. That's why I say, I'll tell you now, you should take advantage of it. Anything you see with my name on it, sell it. Sell it. Duplicate it and sell it. This is the hip-hop, not rap, hip-hop economic stimulus package. If all artists did the same thing, hip-hop would not have economic problems. We can wipe out poverty in our community with this one agenda. I put out 12 albums. This is my 13th one. My 14th album can't be free to you? You done bought all my stuff for 18 years. You mean to tell me in 2004 I can't do nothing for you? And there's nothing I can do, right? I just keep taking, right? Never giving back, just take. That's rap. This is hip-hop. Hip-hop is, I got 12 albums. You better find one of them and sell it. 12 of them. I have the most rap albums in rap music's history. Find one of these albums and sell it. Buy this one and duplicate it. This one right here. Purchase this album today. And if you have CD making capabilities, take it out the sleeve, put it in your thing, and dupe up 100 of them. For real, this is the real for you, I'm telling you now. Take advantage of it. Because this is what hip-hop is going to need. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Let me just say this is the 13th album. It's called Keep Right. It's produced by, well, a whole bunch of producers, actually. You know, the regular crew, Domingo, Kenny Parker. It goes on and on. Africa Bambaataa, though, makes his debut after many years. Actually, I have a prayer by Africa Bambaataa. It's just advice by Africa Bambaataa on this album, and I'm really proud of that as well. So again, Icey Ice, wherever you are, where are you? Here. You are the man. Once again, you are the man. Good looking. And I'm gonna call back here. Let me say this though. Ice deserves our respect. Tower Records won't have KRS One. That's why I even call them. These major companies ain't feeling hip-hop. And these companies that ain't feeling hip-hop are trying to destroy stores like this. This store is a threat to the entire music industry, and you know it. You're a threat. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Let's support this store. Not just today, but onward. Buy your records from here. Get your CDs from here. Pressure Icey Ice, pressure his staff to get you the records you want in here. But don't go up the block where people ain't representing our community, ain't representing our culture, and we laying our money down for that. We paying for our own destruction. Long live hip hop. Let's get